What if growth didn't have to come at the cost of your nervous system? In this episode of the Dean's List, I sit down with Arielle de Martinez, founder of Subluna, a sacred self-care brand that's reimagining wellness for families, one tincture, one gummy, one grounded decision at a time. From hand-pouring formulas in her kitchen to navigating delayed product launches and community feedback, Arielle shares what it really takes to scale without selling out. We unpack intuition-led leadership, herbal healing, supply chain transparency, and why letting go is sometimes the bravest business move of all. If you're building a life, a family, or a business with intention, this one's for you. Please subscribe, tap the bell. You can catch every episode of the Dean's List. Enjoy. I'm Alison Dean. I've scaled companies, led global teams, and I'm a lifelong student of well-being. And yes, motherhood is part of that curriculum. After years partnering with visionary leaders, I know the future belongs to those who create with care. Welcome to the Dean's List. More than a podcast, this is a community of thoughtful founders, creative minds, and conscious consumers. If that's you, congratulations, you're already on the list. Welcome to the Dean's List, where we explore the art of building well. I'm your host, Alison Dean, and today's guest blends herbal wisdom with sharp business instincts and somehow makes it all feel like a love letter to your nervous system. Thank you. Arielle de Martinez is the founder of Subluna, the sacred self-care brand helping people reclaim wellness on their own terms. From hand-straining tinctures in her kitchen to scaling a global movement, her journey is as grounded as it is expansive. We're going to get into intuition-led growth, rituals for resilience, and what it means to lead with softness in a world built for hustle. Welcome, Arielle.
Hi, thank you so much. Thanks for that introduction. I don't think I've ever been introduced like that. I love it.
Oh, good. Yay. All right. So can we just start with the baseline of what is Subluna?
Subluna is an herbal wellness company founded by myself, named after my oldest daughter, Luna. We have a really big focus on yourself, the individual taking the lead and using their knowledge and intuition to kind of figure out what works best for them. You know, you kind of in a world where everybody wants a protocol, we outsource so much of our authority. Our big initiative is to take out the fear behind and like the unknown of working with herbs and create fun, usually delicious ways to get into taking herbs and feeling comfortable around it. So we have herbal drink mixes that taste really, really good, like matcha and cacao that blend herbs. And then we have our herbal tinctures that are a little bit more like potent extracts that you can kind of dose yourself with. And then we've recently, within the last year, expanded into herbal gummies. So,
all right. So I want to go back to 2021. Perhaps you can capture the moment or the feeling that made you know that Subluna wasn't a side thing. It was like the path to follow.
I got pregnant with my second baby in June of 2021. And at this point, Subluna had been around for about a year and a half. We actually just had our anniversary. I don't even know the date. I just saw a time hop come up on my phone on August 1st of me introducing my Etsy shop in 2019. And Turkey Tail was our first product we ever sold. But and so Subluna had been doing pretty well. We had just kind of started the initial stages of delegation. So at this point, up until that spring, I had been doing everything in-house, making tinctures in my kitchen, fulfilling orders. I was a mom of a 3.5-year-old. In April, I had delegated shipping. I found a shipping fulfillment center, sent off all my product, and like I didn't have to pack orders. And like I was like handwriting shipping labels and dropping them off at USPS, which is like insane. I don't know anything about technology. Like I didn't go to college. I didn't take computer classes. It was just like me figuring it out. And I was like, well, I know how to mail letters. So I'm just going to do this and drop it off at the post office. Like I had no idea I could call USPS to come to my house. Anyway, so that was like a huge deal for me. And of course, as you delegate, that energy frees up so much more expansion in your life for you to put things that you're passionate about into the priority. And so the business was really allowed to start growing. So that was when we started having our updates. Products were selling out in 24 hours, which had never happened before. We just kind of like got into a groove. So I got pregnant with my second baby. My first, it was really hard on our whole family because we were really committed to not having her in childcare, but we both worked. I was an entrepreneur. I had my own hair salon. Right. I didn't feel like I could take the amount of time. I took 6 weeks of maternity leave because, I had clients counting on me to come back and do their hair. And so our first year of life as a family looked a lot like passing our baby back and forth on the way to work.
Okay.
My daughter didn't take a bottle. It was just really hard on our family. And we made it work and we did find a good flow, but we didn't get like that quality time as the three of us together. Mm-hmm. And I swore that I would never do that again. And also a big thing was like, I didn't really ever rest with my first child. Like I was pregnant. I worked out at the gym 5 days a week till I was 40 weeks pregnant. I was walking 2 miles a day at 42 weeks pregnant, like constantly going. I had a pretty good postpartum, but like, I just felt like there was so much that went into just creating this hamster wheel that kind of continued the first year of my daughter's life. So I found I was pregnant with my daughter. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm closing my salon. I'm going full-time Subluna because I can do it from home. I was only making like $2,500 a month off Subluna too, like as the primary income earner of my family with my salon. Looking back, it felt right, but I can't believe I did that. I was like, I'm closing my salon. I'm going to be pregnant. I'm not going to go to the gym. I canceled my gym membership. I called. I was like, I don't care what the fee is. Cancel it. I'm pregnant. I'm not doing that. My husband's from the Dominican Republic and we'd always talked about moving. And I was like, let's do it. In 6 months, we're going. So we did it in like 3 months.
I mean, it's a really impressive, I think, reflection story also in terms of like the A-B of first child, kind of the feelings, second one, doing it totally differently. Not all people can have that kind of reflection too. So applause for you. That was something where you kind of put your foot down. So you were making stuff in your kitchen and, going to the post office and all that stuff. What did all those early things shape in how you still operate today?
Well, I think the biggest thing is we've scaled, obviously, but we still operate very hands-on. While we've upgraded our practices in terms of like sanitation, you still are getting homemade tinctures when you order from us. And something that we've always heard from the beginning is, I don't know why your tincture works so much better when I can buy the exact same one on the shelf at Whole Foods, and yours works so much better and I can feel it and it also tastes better. Why does it taste better? Like that doesn't make sense. And I have a really strong belief in the further removed you get from the nature part of it, the less vital and vibrancy the product has. And so we work really hard to keep those practices in our preparation. So we make everything in-house. We use fresh plants. We only get plants either from our backyards, wildcrafting, or farmers that we know who grow herbs with the sacred care that they require. There's a Chinese medicine philosophy called Di Dao, which basically speaks about herbs growing best in their natural wild habitat. And so a lot of Chinese medicine herbs are all wild grown, only watered with rainwater, spring water, stuff like that. And because they have this deep belief that these herbs are the most vital, potent herbs because of them. It's like thinking about like, do you want a hothouse tomato or do you want a tomato grown in your garden? The herbal tinctures at Whole Foods are hothouse herbs. You know what I mean? They're mass produced, they're picked, they're not thought about, there's no care, they're dried, they're thrown in a stainless steel bucket. Not one person actually handles those herbs with reverence.
Right.
We're really working hard to keep that sacred piece, keeping those high quality tinctures that you expect to get from us where they actually do work and you can taste the vibrancy and you can taste the aliveness of it,
Yeah, no, I think you've succeeded in that front. So this is like a funny aside, but there was many a time where you would open the shop and like all the things I wanted were sold out. And it created a little bit of like a panic every time there was a drop because there was like certain things where I was like, I got to get that stuff, right? Yeah. I eventually got reishi from you, but I remembered you recommended some other places too, which I thought was very lovely of you. You were like, here are some other places where you can at least
know that they're doing things according to like my philosophies and everything, but still not the same. So I will say there is something to be said for how you craft your things, but I will support the people that you say are still doing it, because I think that obviously I have a lot of appreciation for the people that are doing it thoughtfully. Anyway, we've called resilience a kind of magic. So let's talk a little bit about what resilience looks like in like a business context, especially as things continue to grow and can get messier, possibly. What does that look like?
This is a great question because we have scaled so much in the last year. And it was something that, as someone who preaches resilience, like in the home and in mothering and in yourself, I was kind of forced to like push it to expansion too in my business, because I talk about resilience being like offense versus defense. Okay. So if you have resilience, you've built up your offense reserve. You very rarely have to play defense. I think in the herbal wellness world, you can just play whack-a-mole so easily with mold and heavy metals and toxins and this and that and parasites and blah, 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 blah. Even like simple things like your nervous system or your children having a lot of emotional dysregulation. Like, in my opinion, it's so much easier to focus on preparing your body to be able to handle that stuff and making sure your body is able to detox that stuff well, and making sure your body's able to handle stress, making sure your kids are able to handle stress. So that way, if you are having to play whack-a-mole, it's very little. You know what I mean? And it's not stressful, and you're not feeling like it's one thing after another.
Right.
So with our business model, we're still a very small team. It was literally me and my apothecary manager, Alex, working. And, we'd put out a call to like friends and family to come help. But we were kind of in this hamster wheel of like, prepare the medicine, list the medicine, ship the medicine, because it was selling. So we were really stuck in like defense for so long.
Okay.
And so I got to this point where I was like, I need to catch up. We've reached the max. We can only sustain this model for so long, where we're putting products on our site and the shop's only open for 48 hours. It was almost to the part where it was harming us more than it was helping us. Like our customers were like going elsewhere. We were still like increasing revenue every month, but we were losing a lot of money out the door from people that were finding our page and not knowing how our store worked, not knowing how our model worked, but like everything's sold out. And I'm like, yep, you got to come back in 3 weeks. And they're like, why? I'm just going to Amazon, whatever,
Right.
And they didn't have the proof of how good our tinctures were, knowing that they were worth the wait.
Right.
From back in the Etsy days when things didn't sell out all the time. It's so great and helpful for women to have other female entrepreneur contacts who are a few stages ahead of them.
Oh, yes.
And a few stages behind them too, because you can all kind of learn from each other, right? So I reached out to a friend of mine, Stephanie, who owns Cosma Beauty. I was like, I need someone who can show me this is what the $1 million companies are doing. Because if I ever want to be that, I need help, because once again, I never went to Business 101. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I still use handwritten records and was going to the post office. I'd still be doing that, And she's like, oh yeah, I have this girl. She's great. Here's her number. And so she introduced me to a woman who helped me scale my company, who was just like, oh yeah, you need to do this, let me help you, whatever. And she was the one who was like, listen, it's time. You have to let go of this model. The shop has to be open all the time. We need to get off the hamster wheel and figure this out. So we came up with a plan. We did this big rebrand. It was last July, so a little over a year ago, where we counted down. We had the new website, and then the shop just stayed open. And it was really vulnerable for me, because I was like, what's going to happen? Like, are people still going to want my products if there's no adrenaline rush behind it? But at the same time, it allowed us to get out of this hamster wheel of production. I told my apothecary manager, Alex, she was working these crazy hours for production and all of this stuff. And she's like about to get married and probably going to have a baby in a few years. And I'm like, I need to figure out how to like get this set up so that like the women working for me can like do what I did. You know what I mean? And like slow down and like not be like, okay, I have to be back at work. There's a Subluna update in 6 weeks. Like that's not what I'm about. So now we're at that point where like we haven't even had a drop in so long. And the girls are like going on summer vacation and like all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, you have lives, But yeah, in business, I think especially entrepreneurs, because we're not resourced, we tend to kind of just play defense and like tackle problems one at a time without having like our future selves in mind, Yeah. And a piece of advice I got back in the day when I started my business was to like always think about where you'll be like a year or two in the future. So you're not constantly just like tackling the same problems over and over. And that was really valuable for us. I still try to approach it that way. And of course, I've made mistakes over the last year and a half of scaling, where now I know in the future how to make those things, handle those. But yeah, just always thinking about like, where do I want my future self to be, and making those decisions with those in mind versus like where you're at right now.
Yes. Yes. I love that. When the website went live and it was open 24/7, I feel like you kept all your products. You kind of knew your core medley of things that like always were getting purchased. Did you have to shrink anything?
Yeah. So we're still kind of in that process. So last year we had 150 SKUs. And this has been the hardest part for me of scaling for sure. Before last July, we had such a close knit like family. Even though like this is the first time I'm seeing you like virtually face to face, like I know your name because I recognize your name. I know who all my customers are. I recognize their Instagram handles. And I pride myself in that, because what founder of what company knows that? You know what I mean? Like, then all of a sudden, now we're running Google ads and my customers don't know me, right? And so when my customers don't know me, first of all, they're much more critical because they don't know my good heart, where things come from. A customer who doesn't know me, a customer who's not making time to read our Wednesday Q&As and Instagram stories, they have no idea what all 150 herbs we sell. Right. They don't know what California poppy is. They don't know what hops is. They don't know what skullcap is. It's gibberish. My core customers know. The new ones don't. There's no way to educate those people in the time they click on our website to checking out on the cart.
Right.
Instead of having 150 products on the website, you go to our website, it spends you 45 minutes. You still don't know what to buy. You still don't know what you want. We need to take these 15 herbs and find their commonalities and put them in blends. So now you have 3 nervous system blends to choose from.
Yeah.
Do you get angry when you're stressed out? Do you get panicked when you're stressed out? Or do you freeze when you're stressed out? Pick one. Great.
Yes.
So that's kind of what we're still in the process of doing. I think we finally have gotten most of our core blends. Our goal is to kind of get down to like 50. I think we're at 75 right now. We're still ordering all the same herbs.
Okay.
We're just using them better now.
Right.
And it requires less education on the people who don't want to be educated and they just want the blend. Kind of like what you were saying. You told me before we started recording, you have this spreadsheet of like when to use what herb. But with these blends, you won't need that spreadsheet because you're like, oh, okay, this is the one I need because this title is what my symptoms are, you know?
Yes. Thank you. I love this idea. I think this is fantastic. Like simplify it for the end user. Yes. Love it. Yeah. I mean, it's great when people want to like become their own instructors, teachers related to herbalism and stuff. I apply to all that stuff. But sometimes you just want to know the answer, especially if you're not feeling good. You're like, just give me the answer. I don't want to have to go down like the extensive rabbit hole of what I'm supposed to do. All right. So I ask everyone this question. And obviously, I feel like you had a lot of transformation when you found natural remedies. What does wellness mean to you today?
I can answer this 2 ways because I feel like wellness, I've been seeing people refer to it as like big wellness lately. And I just feel like it's so kind of true. Like, I feel like we've never been able to access so much information at once as we are right now.
Right.
And I feel like it has turned into the wellness. What I see outside of myself is like neurotic and like obsessive and scared. And I feel like when I think about the word wellness, it almost makes me want to cringe because it's just this weird like orthorexia, neuroses in a package. And like, it's actually not well. It's actually very mentally ill. I feel like a lot of people who have changed to a non-toxic wellness focused lifestyle are actually more mentally unwell than they ever have been because they're so scared and neurotic and obsessed.
Yeah.
And I've been there, you know, moving to Dominican Republic when I was 5 months pregnant into a place where there's Fabuloso cleaner and I can smell when my neighbor is doing laundry and using way too much fabric softener, and knowing every restaurant I go to has canola oil and there's MSG and I buy raw honey and it's mixed with propylene glycol. Like, that was hard for me. But what ended up happening is I ended up getting really sick, sicker than I'd been in a decade. probably some sort of COVID, whatever. And I was laying there in so much pain, so sick, pregnant. And I was like, I did this to myself because every single day for the past 3 months that I've been here, I have been telling myself that I am getting poisoned.
Oh.
Every time I eat, I'm like, I'm being poisoned by canola oil and MSG. Every time I walk outside, I'm being poisoned by fumes. Every time I hug someone, a friend, I'm being poisoned by their cologne. And I'm like, I have literally made myself sick because I'm walking through the world telling myself I'm getting poisoned. And so, of course, my body is now going to react this way, right? That was a huge shift for me. And I realized that there is nourishment in every single interaction. When I hug my friend who's wearing too much cologne, I'm not focusing on the cologne. I'm focusing on the interaction with my friend. When I go to my mother-in-law who makes lunch for me every single day out of the wonderfulness of her heart, I'm not focusing on the MSG and canola oil that's in it. I'm focusing on the time I have to have a meal with my family that I didn't have to cook, that was made with love.
Yes.
And she knows exactly what I like. And she knows I don't like chicken legs. I want the chicken thigh. And so that's what she puts on my plate every time. I don't even have to tell her. Like there's so much nourishment in that. Yes. You know what I mean? When I'm on a walk in my neighborhood and someone's doing laundry, I'm getting movement. I'm getting fresh air. I'm getting all of these other things. I'm getting quality time with my kids on their bikes. I'm not stressing about whatever's in the air. So for me now, wellness means that I am free of all of that. And I find the wellness in myself and my perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's everywhere.
That was like such a beautiful infomercial almost. Like, I don't know how to describe it, but I was like, amen. Because that is so true. Like, you know, the mind is very powerful. And so if you're convincing yourself that all these things are making you ill, you have to shift your mindset around it. Okay, so is there a better word for wellness, do you think?
No, I think wellness is fine. I just think that we've lost the plot.
Oh, yeah.
We need to bring it back, make it well again.
Yeah, let's make wellness well again. Yeah, that's a funny one. Do you have any daily non-negotiables for yourself? So like when you wake up, if you don't do these 1, 2, 3, I mean, it could be 10 things. Maybe you're not as calibrated as you could be if you do actually do them.
I don't. For me, having a non-negotiable is too much stress in my life. So I have no non-negotiables. I have things I enjoy to do, but nothing is a non-negotiable.
It's like, it's all fine. Whatever happens. Good attitude. All right. I do want to talk about essential oils because I think this is why I kind of thought you were so fabulous. You know, how you had such a very specific stance, but it was backed by a lot of data. The things that you've done are pretty impressive in terms of how other entrepreneurs have been affected by your information. But what made you kind of land on these aren't so great? What shifted that thinking?
Well, I think the big thing is that like I never had much exposure to them at all. I mean, I grew up using natural remedies, but none of them were essential oil based.
Okay.
Echinacea tea and apple cider vinegar and like easy, very cheap remedies. You know, essential oils are not cheap. I was gifted a salve, like a respiratory salve with essential oils in it at like a baby shower with my oldest.
Yeah.
I had mentioned to a friend that I was using it. She was like, hey, you might not want to use that on your baby. And I was like, oh, okay. She just kind of like explained it to me in like the simplest way possible. And the way that my brain works is something like that lights my fire. Then I'm like, I got to learn about this more. I think the great thing about essential oils is for women, it feels like a very tangible thing that they can use to control their health. Right?
Okay,
You just need a couple drops of this. You just and I could be the top salesman at Young Living right now. I totally could if I had gone down a different path.
Yeah.
So that kind of is what helped me to value whole plant medicine. I have a very logical brain. I probably have a photographic memory. So as I learned about herbs, I wanted to learn about essential oils from a whole plant perspective. And so we know essential oils are medicinal, but there's also a lot of ways to use their benefits in whole plant medicine, not in their isolated form, which is where things can get a little dicey.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you probably have a few stories of people where when they removed essential oil, some kind of beneficial thing happened, or they noticed a change of symptom, or I'm sure you've heard stories in this capacity, because I think people don't understand that it could be that thing that's causing some ailment in them. And I will like asterisk that there are certain essential oils, and maybe you would say, Alison, don't do that. But like there's certain things like a lemon oil I feel less bad about.
Is it intuitively that you feel less bad about lemon oil? Because I can explain why you feel that way about lemon oil if
Okay,
you
yeah,
want.
tell me. Okay, tell me, yeah.
Because lemon oil, it's the peel that they get the oil from, and the peel naturally has very high amounts of essential oil in it. So if you're using a citrus oil, it's actually probably closer to using actual lemon peel as like using mint oil, which is like 0.1% of the mint plant. The lemon has a lot higher essential oil count. Now, lemon peel on its own, we use that very minimally, right? We put lemon zest in our food. We're not eating lemon peel because it's disgusting. So work with lemon oil the same way. It's also disgusting probably because of its high volatile oil count. But, you know, obviously we know citrus is photosensitive. So like things like that to take into consideration. But if you intuitively feel like lemon oil is a lesser evil of the essential oil world, that's probably why.
Well, okay, the only way I use it is I'll put a little bit on a dryer ball when I'm like drying clothes. That's how I use it. So
yeah, like putting lemon peels down your dishwasher or your garbage disposal.
Yes, right.
You do that because the lemon peel has a high essential oil count.
Well, I do encourage everyone to go down all the rabbit holes with you related to essential oils.
Go down the rabbit hole. And also, like we just talked about, you don't have to turn it into this neurotic thing where like, oh my God, I have to get rid of everything I have. Just like slowly kind of be like, okay, now I know. Maybe I'm going to get the unscented dish soap. But also, if your husband brings home lavender essential oil dish soap, don't bite his head off. Thank you. No problem.
Yeah. Not only are you like our herbalist person, you're going to become our relationship therapist of just how to navigate these things. I like that.
I'm just teaching from my own experience.
Yeah, no, but people need to hear that. You know, it's like, it's not worth it. Is it worth the fight? No, it's not. Everything is a learning journey for us. Okay. I mean, I feel like you've already talked a lot about different chapters of Subluna. Mm-hmm. Is there a certain time that you really think you were tested like the most and it really shaped your perspective on leadership?
What really tested me from an entrepreneurship standpoint last year was our gummy pre-orders.
Yes.
It was insane. I literally believed I had been cursed because of how insane it was. So, little backstory. When we did our big rebrand and our big relaunch and rescale of our company last year, we also introduced our kids line called Luna Kids. And it was 4 gummies. The biggest excitement one was our kids ancestral multivitamin, which was a gummy featuring beef liver. We announced this. We were very excited. We obviously don't have a gummy machine. We weren't going to go out and spend 6 figures on a gummy machine. So we worked with a co-manufacturer to let us use our gummy machine and make all of this happen. But this was the first time we had ever made a product to scale like a big amount. You know, we made everything in small batches before this. So they said, yeah, no problem. 6 weeks, no problem. You know, I had paid all the money. We had done everything. Everything was ready to go. So since I'd done all that, I was like, great. We're going to say 6 to 12 weeks. And we opened up for pre-order. The idea was, because it's also expensive to make things that are in such a big amount. And so our plan for pre-order, what a lot of small businesses use pre-orders for, is obviously the customer gets a chance to be the first to get something. With new products, it's really great. But also on the back end, like the way that it works with these companies is you pay 50% down before to buy all the raw materials and stuff. And then when it's ready, you pay 50% to get it.
Yeah.
So this was 6 figures worth of gummies that I was buying. I ended up taking a personal loan that was more than any mortgage I'd ever taken out. And the idea was that the pre-orders were going to fund the second half.
Okay.
Right? We were super excited about it. And then what happened is everything that could go wrong did go wrong. And these gummies didn't make it to their customers for 6 months. Your customers who are involved in pre-orders are your core customers. They're the customers who know you the most, they're the customers who support you the most. And I had never experienced so much negativity from my customers. And I had to completely reframe it all because every single day I would open my phone and just feel a pit in my stomach. When I would see a message on Instagram, I would feel dread. I had never felt so at the effect of anything in my life. And in the meantime, I was getting a ping. Hey, the ghee got delayed. Hey, this happened. Hey, the magnesium we wanted to order is coming late. Hey, this freight guy who we were supposed to get these from, we asked him to send it on Tuesday 2 weeks ago, and he just now mailed us and said he's going to send it in 2 weeks. Oh, hey, by the way, the gummy machine broke when we were in the middle of making these gummies. So we have to order the part and then do it from scratch again and reorder all the raw materials. Like just everything that could have gone wrong went wrong. Then the light's at the end of the tunnel and everything's good and customers are going to start getting their product. And I'm like, great, this is great. Yeah. Finally, it's been 6 months, people are going to start getting this stuff. I can take a deep breath. I don't have to be afraid of my cell phone anymore. So something that's interesting about our gummies is because I know how I'm very critical, I guess, of any supplement ever. Like I can always find something wrong with it. You know, I made these gummies. They are like the cleanest. They have to be, don't take this legally, but they're probably the cleanest gummy on the market. Like they are so pristine. We use natural flavors in the gummy because there's only so much room in a gummy, right? We can use 1 drop of natural flavor and leave space for the herbs so that the gummy actually works, because most gummies on the market have like 100 milligrams of herbs in a gummy. Ours have 1,000. So we were like, let's use natural flavor so that we can have more room for herbs.
Okay.
In the gummy. But we found an amazing mom and pop place that makes natural flavors, and they're like super clean. They're like cane alcohol base. They use all of the ingredients to make it. It's just very, very concentrated. It's like a tincture on crack. Like you just put 1 drop in and it flavors it. Okay. Well, because of this, they don't cover up everything, right? They don't cover up every single herby flavor. So it's like drinking tea with honey added to it versus drinking Gatorade. You know what I mean? You're still going to taste the herbs a little bit.
Sure.
Because actually true natural flavors, if they're covering the flavor completely, there's some sort of chemical in it that's doing it. There's bitter blockers. There's things. That's why a lot of people prefer to avoid natural flavors now, because you could put MSG in there and say it's a natural flavor because it's naturally derived. So you have to really trust companies that you're working with natural flavors. So anyway, what we learned was the expectation, 6-month buildup to get this product created a lot of hype. Yeah. And then our customers were expecting these gummies to taste like candy, and they taste like herb candy. And so we were flooded with hundreds of bad reviews. Oh, hundreds. I didn't have one positive email in my inbox about these gummies. So it was something that I didn't take home a paycheck from my business for 6 months. I'd taken out a 6-figure loan. I had dealt with 6 months worth of delays. And finally, I thought it was at the end. And then there was a whole new hurdle. I felt like I had like crashed everyone's hopes and dreams. Now, new customers try it and they leave great reviews. The 6-month wait sent expectations really high.
Right.
And then those expectations weren't met. And so it made my core customers feel really betrayed.
There's a lot of learnings in all of what you just said. And this
was my first time. Yeah. So it helped me though. My friend Jenny, she owns Joywell Health. Okay. Supplement company. She's a homeopath. On Instagram, she's the Enlightened Homeopath. She knew I was stressed out. We weren't like super good social media friends. I mean, we're just like acquaintances. She's affiliate for us, whatever. We have like a good back and forth. She was like, you need a free mindset session. Like, we're going to sit down. We're going to talk for 30 minutes and you're going to feel better. And I was like, please. Yeah, right. And she's like, you don't see it right now, but this experience is preparing you to handle bigger things in the future. And we hadn't scaled yet. We were still working with our core customers. And it's true. Like, now my favorite thing to do is go on Amazon and find the companies that I love and read all the negative reviews, because it makes me feel so much better. Like, hey, I love this product. I know it's a good product, but this person says it tastes like a dirty tire. You know what I mean? Because it's what it is. And like, if we ever want to be able to be on Thrive Market with like big dreams that I have for Luna Kids and these vitamins, like, I have to be able to take criticism. And of course, it had to come from the people whose like names I recognized. It felt like a knife in my back, like so many times, but it taught me how to not take things personally and like create a level of separation, knowing that like now, if we wanted to grow, I'm not going to have a close relationship with every single customer. They're not going to know me. They're not going to know my intention. And they're not always going to be happy because maybe we're not the right fit for them or whatever. And that's okay. Some people just like to place bad reviews, and that is what it is. You can't take it personally. I still sometimes do, but it's okay. I'm doing better. But so what I've learned, I guess, to circle around to your question, to be a better leader is I've learned something that I know in my parenting to kind of ascribe to my business. Under promise, over deliver, set clear expectations, be very transparent, and set the clear expectation. So what we're working with now, because with these beef liver gummies, 50% of people are like, this is so good. I can't believe there's beef liver in this gummy. I can't taste it at all. I don't know where you sit on the spectrum. But the other half are like, this tastes like rotten garbage. This tastes like a rotting animal carcass. How on earth did this make it through testing? Kind of like cilantro, like it's 50-50. What we've learned is those 50% of people who think it tastes like garbage, if they stay consistent and take it, their body will recognize the nourishment and begin to crave it. And actually, it ends up being their favorite product of ours. But to try and tell someone, like, I know you think it tastes like garbage, but just trust me, keep eating it.
Right.
You know, it like doesn't always work. So now what we're dealing is, if I want this gummy to be in Thrive Market or Target or Dreaming Big, you know, wherever, like sky's the limit, right? How do I teach my customers who I don't know, who don't follow me on Instagram, who have never seen my product this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do I create a point of connection there? So anyway, we're learning. We're figuring it out. We're still working as we go.
I mean, there's probably something that could be said in some kind of a way on the packaging, simply, but thoughtfully, that at least gets the person, the consumer, into the mindset of it's a high quality product that is very thoughtfully curated. You have to give them that example, maybe not cilantro, but like maybe just putting it right there in their face to get them to land on, oh, okay. It's easier, obviously, if someone is following you on social so that you can kind of be talking about it.
We're like on our mailing list so we can send a purchase flow after they get it. But
yes,
what we have come up with is we're going to try a different way. We'll see if it works. This is our newest. You can follow along. We'll check in later, whatever. First, we stopped calling them gummies. Not all of them. Some of them will still be gummies, but the beef liver specifically, we're going to call it Ancestral Chew, because I think gummy implies it tastes like candy.
Ah, okay.
So we want parents to call them a vitamin. We don't want parents to call them a gummy. So we're kind of changing that. They hear vitamin, they're going to expect not to like it a little bit. Do you remember those like chalky chocolate calcium chews?
Yes.
They were so gross, but like for some reason when I was a kid, I wanted one. I wanted to eat them because they were like a chocolate vitamin, you know? This is exactly that, right? Like this is exactly what it is. It's a chocolate gummy. It's chewy, you know, like what did my 5-year-old self want from that gummy? We're doing a lot to make our packaging a lot more kid friendly, to make the kid, even if the kid doesn't like it, to want to get these gummies. You know what I mean? So now we have a cute little character on the box. We're going to send out cute little ink friendly tattoos for kids to have with the gummies. Just like a more interactive and have it be a better experience for the kids so that the kids actually like want to take these gummies. And it's less pressure on me to educate the parents and more just like the kids are like, I like the packaging. I don't care if it tastes like crap. I'm going to keep taking it, you know, until they love it, you know?
Yeah. And it's not to say that all parents want their kids on Instagram, but I also think it'll be helpful when there's just content around kids eating these things. And
Social
even
proof.
if the reaction is like, this is totally not a good example, but my daughter, Luna, I was trying to get her to do nose flushing. And I just remember the only thing that really helped bridge it for her was watching other kids do it on Instagram. She was like, oh, I do think there is something to be said for like, hopefully there'll be some of that organic content that begins to get curated where the reactions would be kind of funny too, because obviously kids are just funny in general. So I'll look forward to that for you. I will. And I feel like Thrive Market, that just seems like it should be accessible now.
Oh, yeah, it is. I just want to wait till we're fully ready, because the thing about retail, which a lot of people don't know, the first time you ever get into the retail space will kind of set the stage for like everything in the future. Let's say Thrive Market is like, yes, we want these gummies. Like, of course they would, right? They're great. They're a great product. They say, let's have 5,000 of them. And then they have 25 of those 5,000 packages. People try to return, get negative reviews, whatever, because 50% of people don't like them. Then they're going to be like, sorry, this is too much overhead for us. Even though we like this product and we believe in it, we can't have it back. Then let's say I get all my shit together, and I go to Target and I say, hey, I have these gummies, you should buy them. They'd be like, great, we believe in this product. How's your past retail experience been? And then I have to tell them, and then they're like, sorry, we can't do that.
Yeah.
Once again, this was preparing me, right? This is preparing me to get my ducks in a row and figure it out now so that when we do go to retail, if we do ever go there, we have already tackled those problems.
Yeah. And I feel like other brands on Thrive, some of the smaller companies, you can tell that they're being very strategic about which product offerings they have on Thrive because it's not everything. So they're putting kind of their winners on Thrive, I think, in the hopes that obviously more will be added over time, but you have to be strategic. For sure you do.
We're also finding out that like the strangers who buy from us, they like the gummies. They don't even think twice about it, about how they taste. They leave good reviews. It's like almost like people who've been around Subluna forever. I guess they're just used to like the cool girl matcha that tastes so good.
Oh.
It's very funny. Like it's our core customers who really don't like the flavor.
That's so interesting. I haven't tried them yet. So now I'm kind of like, wow, I didn't do my research today. I did not try them. I mean,
Well, they're dropping on Thursday. I'll send you a pack. Just remind me.
I literally have like every single one of your elixirs, tinctures, everything else. The food stuff, I need to dive into that realm because I have not. Okay. I think it's really cool. You partner with over 100 women globally through the affiliate program. What have you learned about community building? I mean, obviously you have a very impressive Instagram account, but what has that affiliate community taught you?
Yeah, this is what I'm still kind of figuring out. We never had an affiliate community before up until last July. So it's new. Like what we found before we had the affiliate program is we would have larger accounts who were like, we love your products and use them, but you don't have an affiliate account and I can affiliate for this company. So they don't share because they can't make money off of it, essentially. So we knew our affiliate model had to be strategic for brand awareness because it didn't work. Like we were sending free product to influencers who loved it and were using and were reordering, but they never share it. I had a woman have me on her podcast and talk about reishi babies. And we talked about reishi for an hour, reishi and pregnancy. And then at the end of her podcast, she shared an affiliate link for a different company who made reishi instead of ours. We've had influencers drink our Cool Girl Matcha, order our Cool Girl Matcha, and then in their stories share, this is peak matcha with X's rose, like making their own version, but like with the companies they affiliate for. We've even had influencers do collab posts with their affiliate companies sharing our recipe for the products of ours they use. So anyway, that's why we decided to break into affiliate marketing because we were like, this is actually hurting us. The products we're making are actually getting less exposure because we don't have an affiliate program.
Right.
But I'm still trying to figure out how, beyond the fact that now people will share our products, how it works. We just started like a little micro influencer. So like our customers who have like 1,000, 2,000 followers, sending them free products in exchange for content, just to kind of like find a way to involve like our smaller accounts in that way. Because I think that I'm kind of tired of playing the affiliate game with like the big accounts because of things like that. You know what I mean? So I think right now my focus is building community with like those smaller accounts and like building affiliate relationships early.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm still trying to find balance there. You know, we don't really approve everyone yet. And I'm terrible with applications. So like, I'll just sit down once a month and look at a few and like, okay, this person seems good. Maybe I'll look at if they've been using the product, you know, whatever, like, let's see. Right. And I'll approve based on that. But yeah, this is something that we're focusing on the end of this year and next year. And hopefully we'll build a good community in that area too.
It's ever changing. So it's kind of one of those things where you ride the wave and you figure out how you want to ride the wave. So, you know, I think
and
that's
how
well
do we
said.
want to be represented? Like, I don't want to just be another link in someone's bio, you know? We kind of like to pair with influencers who really only affiliate for a few brands versus
more meaningful.
you go to a bio and you see 20 links, I feel like it almost like makes the brand seem not authentic.
Yeah. Well, just everyone else just selling something. Yeah, I'm with you on that. What's something that no one asks you about, but you wish people knew?
I think something that like I am really proud of, that I think a lot of female entrepreneurs can benefit from, is my ability to delegate and like let others do for me. Kind of like a similar pattern to what we were talking about. I have seen so many female entrepreneurs go so hard.
Yeah.
And they do everything and they won't let one piece go of their business. So they're working like 80-hour weeks. They refuse to hire a copywriter. They refuse to have someone schedule their social media for them. There's so much they refuse to do.
Yeah.
It's like so limiting to them and they can't see that because they're only one person. All of a sudden they go dark. They disappear. They have a nervous breakdown. They can't do it. Maybe they come back a year later in a slower way, or maybe they just don't make it, or they end up going into like severe burnout, whatever. Like, it's not a recipe for success. And I think something that I had modeled to me as a young adult when I worked in the hair industry, the women who owned the salon I started out at, they were two women. They were amazing delegators. They delegated to each other. They delegated to their staff. And so I always saw that. My mom's a master delegator. It wasn't like a sign of weakness for me to delegate. It's like actually a sign of strength and a sign of like abundance to be able to delegate. And so like I've always delegated with like gratitude. Like, I am so happy to pay someone and I'm going to pay them more than like maybe even what they're asking for, because it has so much value to me, because now they're going to take this off my plate and I'm going to be able to pour more into what I'm passionate about. And that's going to help us grow. And that money is going to come back amplified in so many ways. And I just wish so many more entrepreneurs, it's specifically a female thing. I don't think men really have a problem delegating, but I feel like female, it's that perfectionist. We have to do everything. If we want it done right, we have to do it ourselves. Yeah. And if you can just zoom out for a minute and like delegate and focus on all the things that it can do for you, if you do it versus all of the things that could go wrong, you can really create so much expansion, both in your personal life and your home life. Like now, all I do all day is I sit around and I dream about new products and do the things that make me happy and create and formulate, because I have someone who helps me with the newsletters. I have someone who helps me with the social media. I used to work till like 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Yeah. After my kids went to bed.
Yeah. You need the headspace to vision these things out. And all those things take time and energy. Do you want to share any interesting, positive customer testimonials? I guess the things that you've heard from people that use your products where you're like, wow, and just really understanding the impact that you're having on people's lives.
Yeah, I would love to. The opposite of our beef liver gummy Nourish Child, we have our Balanced Child gut detox gummy for kids.
Yep.
This is our fan favorite. All the herbs in it are very mild. It has an orange creamsicle flavor. It tastes so good. This is like going to be the Subluna legacy for me. I feel like even if it was just this one product I created, like this was our purpose, like this is why we exist in the world. And the funny thing is, it was like an afterthought when I was creating this gummy line. I originally was just going to do a mood gummy, a sleep gummy, and this beef liver gummy. And I texted my friend Danny, who was the one who has helped me scale. I was like, we should make a gummy for eczema, because so many kids have eczema. It's like such a big problem. Mm-hmm. We have our Glow Getter tincture, which a lot of parents do use on their kids with success. But I was like, a gummy would be so fun. Like it would be so easy for kids to take and be beneficial. Yeah. But being the person that I am, I was like, okay, eczema is like not a root cause, obviously. So I'm like, big picture, what else is a kid with eczema struggling with? Yep. We were like, okay, they're not eliminating properly. They're probably constipated. Maybe they have heavy metal toxicity. There's like a history of suppression in their body from being given Tylenol or steroid cream or things that are like suppressing. And so I find eczema, it's like a reaction to suppression. Like it's like you want to suppress, we're going to push it out one way or another, and so we're going to get this inflammation out. Obviously there's inflammation in the gut. A lot of these kids have a gut-brain dysfunction going on. Their blood-brain barrier is impaired. Children's blood-brain barriers are more permeable than adult anyway. So if these children have these problems in their gut and in their body, it's also in their brain too. Maybe these kids have symptoms of ADHD, like neurodivergence, etc. So it turned into this like crazy, like beautiful mind chart. I spent so much time messaging my friend Kristen Hauser from Womb Medicine. She's a TCM herbalist. We like to talk formulas together and just like talking about herbs, like, okay, this and this. And like, it was literally like a beautiful mind chart in my brain for like weeks. I worked so hard on this formula. And I finally landed on it. And I still didn't anticipate how amazing it was going to be, how many lives it was going to change. We get messages from parents every single day thanking me for this product. My own daughter is finally pooping every day forever. Like she was like my once a week pooper. Parents whose kids struggled with chronic constipation and like nothing worked. People are saying their kids are sleeping through the night for the first time in their life. People who kids had blood tests with lead toxicity that are gone in a couple months. If you could look at our reviews, people are like, I never expected.
I'll never not have this.
Yeah. So once again, under promise, over deliver. It's just turned into this amazing thing. My whole family takes it. It's huge for mold toxicity. Like people whose kids have been affected by mold all of a sudden, you know, like pans and pandas, it's getting kids out of flares, like, because it really does have this whole brain, gut, lowering inflammation, but from a lens of so many detoxes for kids are super depleting and can make things worse down the long run. But once again, we're focusing on resilience. So we're like building these children up while lowering the inflammation and removing things. And so my husband and I take one every day. Like they're amazing.
The adult version isn't out yet though, right?
We're not going to make an adult version. It is what it is. It's good. And the gummies are potent enough that adults can take it too. And they only need one.
Okay.
So anybody can take it. I guess maybe one day if we could end up doing the exact same formula and just call it like balanced adult. But right now it is what it is, you know?
Okay. So everyone, we need to buy that product for sure. Like that one sounds like the whole fam just needs to get on it. Like you don't know what transformation could occur.
Yeah.
I certainly have friends that I can think of right now that I'm going to literally send them a link to that product right after our conversation because I'm like, this could help you. I already know it. Okay, well, that's good. I mean, obviously you have a lot of testimonials on the website for a lot of stuff. Okay, if there's someone that's dreaming of starting a mission-led business, what's one question that they should ask themselves before they move forward?
I guess like what your blocks are. And are you really willing to like clear them out? Like, are you really willing to allow yourself to succeed based on that?
Oh.
Like, how much do you actually want it?
How much do you want it?
Because we hold ourselves back. Like entrepreneurs, they have that perfectionist block and they don't want to release anything until it's perfect. You can't do that if you're going to be an entrepreneur. I would not have Subluna if I did that. We're still perfecting. We're still going, you know. People have abundance blocks with money. They're going to nickel and dime every single purchase for their brand new business when they don't realize that that energy is showing that their business is only worth the 15 cents they're saving on whatever they're negotiating. Am I willing to like identify my blocks and actually let them not hold me back?
Well said. I love that. So we call this extra credit because it's the Dean's List, or at least that's what I'm calling it now.
I like it.
Okay, good. Thanks. So just first thing that comes to mind, early bird or night owl?
Oh, night owl for sure.
Coffee, tea, or tincture?
Tea. I'm drinking tea right now, so tea.
What kind of tea?
I'm drinking a Chen Pea Pu'er.
Oh, fancy.
It's tangerine peel. Pu'er is like my new obsession of tea.
Okay.
But don't get it in the tea bag. Like get the loose leaf or the resin.
And do the stuff. What plant have you worked with the most this year?
Probably tremella mushroom.
Okay. Favorite music genre?
I don't like music.
No music?
No, I listen to silence in the car.
Silence. So nothing in the household either. Like, you know, does husband put anything on? No. Okay.
I mean, we live in Dominican Republic, so like reggaeton is everywhere. And so like if I was going to like work out, I'd play a reggaeton playlist, but music is distracting for me. I don't find it stimulating and not in a good way.
Okay. Is there a book that has shaped you? How you view life, business, intuition, shaped you in some way?
Totally. I read all the time. I read like a book a day, every day, but they're mostly fiction. My favorite parenting book that I utilize the most is hunt, gather, parent.
Okay. I feel like also though, maybe one of your Instagram stories now needs to be like the book a day that you are reading.
Oh, I know a book. Wit, Guts, Grit. And it's a woman who she is a scientist. And so she takes these studies. It's all about resilience. Yes. And she takes these studies and she performs them on her kids, like experiments. Like if my kids really eat blueberries every day, are they going to have less tantrums? If my kids really spend an hour extra outside, are they going to get back up on their bike when they fall off a day? Yeah. Like it's so cool. I read it when I was pregnant with my oldest. And it's influenced my perspective on resilience, honestly, like realizing that, like, yes, you can actually improve your kids' demeanor with little biohacking tricks, you know?
Okay, I love that. What is your go-to reset if you feel dysregulated?
Probably making a drink, like a cup of tea or one of our latte mixes. Just like the act of like preparing it is what's calming for me.
What is the most unexpected wellness hack that you swear by?
I guess our kids' mood stack. We give our kids reishi, lion's mane, lemon balm, and tulsi. And like my kids have had like 2 tantrums in their life each. Not even. I don't think my youngest has ever truly had a tantrum. My oldest has had 2.
Do you give it all at the same time?
Yeah. So I either put tincture in their water bottle or we have our kids' mood gummy now is in that form. But like my 3-year-old, parents will know what a big deal this is. I can give her a banana anyway. I can peel it. I can unpeel it. I can break it in half. I can let her peel it. It doesn't matter how I give her the banana. She takes the banana and eats it.
Yeah.
Because she's not like
dysregulated.
Yeah. Toddlers are just like dysregulated control freaks. Herbs help that a lot.
Love that. What's one thing you wish more people understood about herbs?
That they are not like pharmaceuticals and you don't overdose them. You don't contraindicate them the same. There's not one size fits all. Like you take a bottle of Tylenol, you know?
Well said. One word to describe your business journey so far.
Abundant.
And if you weren't running Subluna, what else might you be doing?
Well, I was a hairdresser before this, but I don't think I would be doing hair anymore. I used to be a barista. I don't want to run a coffee shop, but in another world, I totally have a coffee shop chain or something.
I like it. I like it. Is there anything that we didn't talk about that you were hoping we would chat about?
I feel like you asked all the right questions. We're good.
Oh, thank you so much. Arielle, thank you so much for being on the Dean's List. How can people find you? How can people find all things Subluna?
Our Instagram is Shop Subluna. I'm very active on there in stories. We do a weekly Q&A every Wednesday that a lot of people like. It's a chance to get like questions answered in that way. Our website is shopsubluna.com.
Beautiful. Everyone, shop Subluna because there's a lot of goods there. There's a lot of fun stuff. You're guaranteed to want things. Thank you so much for being on the Dean's List.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Dean's List, where we explore the art of building well. If you enjoyed this conversation, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, share it with a friend who'd love it too. I appreciate it. If you prefer to listen on the go, you'll find the full audio version wherever you get your podcasts. This community is all about building businesses and lives that feel good, and we'd love to have you along for the journey. I'm Alison Dean. I'll see you in the next one.